Good evening and welcome to the show. Now, you may have recently heard about the Recession Reduction Act. That's correct. It is a new name for something that you've heard before, but was kind of getting a bad rap. So they're trying to change definitions around, but it was originally known as Build Back Better. But as you may know by now, Build Back Better hasn't been going so well, and things have not quite been getting better for most Americans. So now there's the Recession Reduction Act. And a little part of this bill that just passed the Senate, Kamala Harris just took the tie-breaking vote, just cast a tie-breaking vote, but it just passed the Senate, now it'll go to the House. Now, one feature of this bill that some of you have heard of, but a lot of people haven't, is the IRS spending part of the bill. Now, this bill, which is slated for $2 trillion, $2 trillion, in that $2 trillion bill, we have $80 billion, that's with a B, $80 billion going toward the IRS. Now, part of that is going toward hiring 87,000 new IRS agents. Now, that sounds like a lot, but I will say this, fair and balanced. Since 2010, the IRS has lost 16,000 agents, whether through retirement or other mysterious means. But anyway, they've lost 16,000. Now, they haven't reported how many they've gained since 16,000, but they're saying they have a loss of 16,000. I don't know if that's a net loss. Anyhow, 87,000 new agents. They said they're also going to update their phone systems, update their computer systems, and things like that. 87,000 new agents doubles the size of the IRS. Now, that is, just so you know, a 600% increase in their workforce. Now, that's what they're saying. Their budget, their workforce budget is going up by 600%. So when you're looking at giving this agency a 600% budget boost, but just a short time ago, everyone's talking about defunding the police. And you have cities like New York City that cut their police budget by $1 billion. So a 600% increase to the budget. Very interesting. But doubling the size, 87,000 new agents will double the size. But let me put this in a different perspective for you. Take into account the following organizations: the Pentagon, the State Department, the FBI, and the Border Patrol. Now, combine all of those agencies and the IRS with these new 87,000 agents will be bigger than all of those agencies combined. Now, if you were talking about maybe increasing the manpower of the State Department, the FBI, to look into serious crimes and get bad guys off the street, maybe the Secret Service, State Department, of course. But you're doubling the size of the FBI, of the IRS, rather. So now it's going to be double the size of, it's going to be bigger. It's going to be a bigger organization than all of those agencies combined. Think about that for a second. Just think about whether that makes sense. But we found a few other interesting points in this action. Now, a lot of people have been saying that, and President included, you heard it, it's out there, it's on video. If you make less than $400,000 a year, you will not be affected. No new taxes. Read my lips. No new taxes. Okay. So if you make less than $400,000 a year, you won't be affected by this. So what they're saying is that these 87,000 new agents are really going to be going after the mega rich and these big corporations. Now, there's some people who say, well, there's not that many mega wealthy people out there that you need 87,000 new agents to go after them. Maybe a handful. And there's not that many of these huge corporations. So the 87,000 number does seem a little extreme if they're saying their goal is to go after the mega wealthy and these wealthy corporations. However, something was just recently discovered. And what was discovered was that they're estimating, and this is coming from the state somewhere in Washington, they're estimating that $400 billion in new revenue will be generated over the next 10 years by adding these 87,000 new agents. Now, let me ask you something. They said 90%. I want to get this right. This new report just found, because now people are starting to do some digging, and a new report shows that 90% of the people that will be targeted moving forward, they didn't probably want this to come out, will target households making under $200,000. Now, what happened to the 400,000? What happened to that number? Well, apparently, Maury did the testing, and it's simply not true. So it's not 400,000, it's households with $200,000 of income. Now, you may have heard at some point, it kind of was like a flash in the pan on the news, that the IRS will be, once up to full speed with the 87,000 new, their army of new agents, that they'll be closely examining any and all transactions in your bank account over $600. So you make a deposit for $601, you're going to get looked at. You make a withdrawal for over $600, maybe 650 cents. They're going to take a look at it. They're going to see what it's about, what it's for. Now, that doesn't sound like looking at billionaires and what billionaires are doing on their tax returns. In fact, that doesn't even sound like these billion-dollar companies. So, what part of this is just not adding up to you? 87,000 new agents to go after the mega wealthy and the corporations. However, they're somehow also at the same time going to be looking at any transactions in your checking account over $600. And somehow 90% of the targeting has just leaked is going to be households making $200,000 or less. How does that make sense? So, a couple other facts I want to share with you that I found very curious is that they said they want to target wealthy tax cheats. Wealthy tax cheats, meaning the mega wealthy who are cheating on their taxes. But as we know, the mega wealthy predominantly are not cheating on their taxes. They are utilizing the already existing tax loopholes to avoid paying taxes. Now, it's not like these people are breaking the law and they're committing tax evasion or some kind of tax fraud. As you know, if you know anyone who is mega wealthy, they have the best of the best at their disposal. And what they do is they exploit every single tax law and loophole available to them to pay little to no taxes. So if you're bringing on 87,000 new agents, shouldn't some of that be put toward looking at the actual tax laws and saying, hey, where are some of these loopholes that these mega wealthy people are utilizing to avoid paying taxes? No. You make $200,000, we're going to take a look at you. You make any kind of movement in your bank account over $600, we're going to take a look at you. The billionaires are most likely just laughing. They're just laughing because they know this is not going to affect them. It's absolutely bananas. So, anyway, we want to take a look at what they said was not going to target the middle class. And they said, obviously, once again, this was just discovered. They're saying it's not going to target the middle class. Now that we found that that's a lie, or that's not true. And what they found in digging through the details, the devil's in the details, is that they are estimating with this new army of 87,000 new IRS agents that there will be 700,000 audits. Let me say that again. There will be 700,000 new audits, and these audits will target the middle class. It's funny how that was kind of buried in there, and now it's taking certain politicians, thank God, who are doing their due diligence, because you know this thing is probably about this thick and no one's reading it, but they discovered there will be roughly 700,000 new audits targeting the middle class. And that's probably how they get to that $400 billion in added revenue over the next 10 years. How else are they going to fabricate and just come up with $40 billion a year in new revenue over the next 10 years? They're not going to get it out of the billionaires who are just using the tax laws and the tax loopholes, and they sure as heck aren't going to get it out of the corporations. They're even better. So who are they going to go after? Well, it appears the people who are making transactions more than $600, and 90% of these 700,000 audits are going to go against people making $200,000 a year or less. How? You have a household making under $200,000, and you're going to go after them? As we know, nothing's going to happen to the mega rich. Nothing's going to happen to these people who are involved in special interests, or no one's going to, these lobbyists, these corporations, they have their strategies. You know that, I know that. We're just the tax-paying schleps. So it's interesting that all of this is now leaking out. And you look at what Manchin's saying, and Manchin's publicly saying, he's saying, trust us. This won't affect you if you're making less than $400,000. He's still saying it. Even though they already found out, they dug and they got the information has leaked out, that it's going to be targeting 90% of people who are making under $200,000. He's still saying, listen, trust us. We're the government. So here's what happens. If this goes through and they end up targeting people making less than $400,000 and what they discovered less than $200,000, what's going to happen? There's no way you're going to be able to say, excuse me, yes, you actually can't be targeting me. I don't make $400,000 a year, or maybe they're saying by household per person, whatever it might be. You're not going to be able to say to one of these new 87,000 IRS agents, hey, you, Joe Manchin said $400,000. You can't do this. You got to leave me alone. You think they're going to leave you alone? No, of course they're not going to leave you alone. They're going to still come after you. It's a joke. What do you? No, you can't audit me. No, I don't make $400,000 a year. Bye. No, you're done. You're done. So these are some of the truths that are coming out now about this, and I don't know how the people involved in this can sleep at night knowing that there's things buried in this Inflation Reduction, Build Back Better / they're going to come up with another name for it in the next coming months. You know it's going to change names again because it's trillions of dollars, and the more information that comes out about the one name, right? There's all this stuff coming out about Build Back Better, so now it's the Inflation Reduction. Now, once some of these things are now coming out about the Inflation Reduction Act, they'll probably change the name again, and they'll redefine it again. Just like, ironically, the word recession now has a new definition. It's no longer 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. Where? Negative? That's been around for like 50 years. But all of a sudden now, nope, that's no longer the definition of recession. We got these other things going on, so it's not a recession. If you don't laugh, you'll cry and you'll probably go crazy, which might be the point. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if this new information that has come out about the Inflation Reduction Act affects you. Are you part of the 90%? Are you household under $200,000? Are you making transactions in your bank account over $600 on a regular basis? It will affect you. And now the truth is out. Thank you to all the people who provided me with this information. Thank you for some of the politicians that are actually digging into this and spreading the truth. But let me know how this might affect you, and let me know what your thoughts are now that this new information has leaked out about this. If you like this video, please share it with someone that you love and care about. And please check out some of these other videos that you might also find interesting. Maybe a timely topic or two in there. And of course, be sure to check out 221btactical.com for all of your necessities, gear, apparel to help keep you safer and more comfortable in this crazy world we are living in. Lots of great gear, new products dropping there, 221btactical.com. Make sure you're on our private mailing list. Join our list. You'll get information like you're hearing in this video, and you'll also get some information about some of the products we are manufacturing and producing to help keep responsible, loving Americans and people around the world. Of course, we love our people from around the world who are also responsible residents of their countries that are looking to protect themselves, protect their families, and just live a better, safer life. So you join our list. Special knowledge comes to you. No spam. You're just part of our organization, part of our private little club. So make sure you join the list. Click the link below to join the list. And lastly, it's important to keep tabs on some of this stuff by checking in with little channels like this or podcasts like this. You don't have to go out on social media and start, posting and all that stuff, but just absorb it and just put it away so you know what's going on, so you know what's happening. You don't really have to do anything with it, but just kind of store it away. It's kind of like when I go to a restaurant or I go to a mall. I'm always kind of looking around, seeing if I see suspicious people. I'm kind of giving a quick look to see where the fire exits are, quickest way out, where's the kitchen, things like that. Just to notice, and then that's it. I go back to enjoying my meal, enjoying the company I'm with. I'm not perseverating on it, per se. However, if something were to go wrong, I would go and get that information, retrieve that information, and move accordingly. And I'll be able to move a little bit faster than everyone else because I took notice of those things, rather than in the moment start looking around saying, hey, whoa, where's the exit? Where's the kitchen? How do I get out of the back of this building? Right? So just do that. Because we know they're watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're on podcast, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and all that fun stuff. Have a good evening.